they do select information in a way which can please him.
People within this country, I suppose, would still be familiar with the notions of the KGB, which no longer exists. So explain to us the distinction between the FSB and the GRU.
Well, there are plenty of different law enforcement and spying agencies, and the role of any authoritarian leader is to, have a kind of managed conflict between them in order to get more or less balanced information. So some of them are spying against others, and it makes it possible for Putin, as authoritarian leader, to be sure that the information he is getting from them somehow is more or less balanced.
Why are they not saying the same thing? Why would the FSB and the GRU be saying different things?
Well, generally speaking, the function of foreign intelligence was taken out of FSB at the time KGB has been transformed. They did restore this function, and that's why they do compete. But they do have, of course, different sources. Each of them is eager to demonstrate its own effectiveness and to demonstrate that competitors are doing not that well. And that's the reason why they are in conflict.
The GRU we know about a bit in this country because they were behind the attacks in Salisbury. They didn't seem, their operatives, particularly impressive. The Salisbury operation in this country was not very successful when they were interviewed. They didn't come across as particularly canny or clever. How efficient is the GRU or the FSB for that matter?
Well, both services are transforming all the time, and I've heard a lot of complaints coming out of former GRU guys saying that a while ago, at the time of the Soviet Union, for example, it was a kind of aristocracy. It was not that easy to work there, and there was a huge and very tough selection. It's no more the case, and the level of professionalism, if they are not controlled by the parliament, if they are not controlled by the society, it's understandable that they cannot keep being as professional as they should.
There's some conversation that Putin doesn't get good advice, that people are terrified to give him accurate advice. Do you think that's plausible? It's not a question of just competing advice. People aren't willing to tell him the truth.
The problem is that aging dictator sooner or later is surrounded by silent servants. He is trying to avoid communication with his former comrade in arms, and those who are replacing them are not in a position to tell him the truth, if only this truth is unexpected or can be perceived in negative way. That's why sooner or later he finds himself being surrounded by very loyal, but not very well working in terms of informing him guys.
So he might well know just fine. He might well know not the truth about what's going on in various parts of the world, including Ukraine, because people won't tell him the truth.
Yes, absolutely. They do tell him what he is expected to listen from them. And if only he does have his own view, like, say, Ukraine is not the real state and Ukrainians do not form the real nation, they do select information in a way which can please him.
And that's no way to conduct anything, is it? Nikolai Petrov, great to speak to you. Thank you for joining us today.